2, 1. Welcome back, strangers. It's Friday the 13th. It's a harvest moon. It's supposed to be crazy. Are you excited?
Yeah, that was a little scary.
Stuff is vibrating. So let me get the outline pulled up. But in case you don't know, I'm Ethan. And tonight I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rebecca. It's exciting. We're going to get some strange stuff going on. Sorry we're late. It's always like technical difficulties trying to get everything set up now. We have like this new setup. Trying to get it better lighting in here too. So
yeah, and like we don't keep this stuff at our living room. So move it back and then move it back over here.
yeah,
And then move it all back. Like Ethan just built me a table to put my wine on a second ago.
yeah. I'm glad you love the setup because instead of taking
look at this wine
the time to have a setup always.
Here for the booze.
Yeah.
That's me right now.
So, but we missed streaming with you guys lately, so we want to keep it up. Tonight we're going to be discussing some superstitions involving Friday the 13th, the harvest moon, and some other fall, Halloween, like autumn equinox stuff going on. And it's going to be a good time. In case you're completely new, The Strangest is a paranormal and unsolved mysteries channel. We try to do live streams every Friday night. It's a good way to start the weekend.
The time varies.
It does vary, really.
Sometime between 8 and 9.
Yeah.
Typically.
Yeah. So we did finally have a new video come out that was scripted, like filmed and edited and everything. So that was good. If you haven't seen it, it was on Derry, where the real one is, or possibly. How did you guys like that? Which town reminds you of Derry? And now it's time to catch up on the chat. Let's see.
A lot of people saying hello. Hi, wife.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah. So Andres, hey, Phantom of Darkness, what's up? The Ghost Watch, how's it going? I'm excited to see your collab. Let's
Who's
see.
he collabing with?
Rosie's Witchy Finger. I would have to pull it up. I don't remember from the tweet. I'm sorry. I'm terrible. All right.
Just curious.
But hey, Rosie's Witchy's Finger. Michael Helton. And let's see, anything else?
That's not
Booze
what
it
that
up.
says.
What?
I think it's supposed to be like
Michelle.
yeah.
My bad. I'm sorry. I just
Ethan can't read.
I know. Masculine, your name. All right. Yeah, Ryan Kulvitz. There we go. I knew
Ethan
something.
just read the next person like under Ghost Watch's name. I was like, I think it's this person.
No, I was going down the list when you asked a question.
Oh, okay. It was like Ethan just straight up read people's names.
I'm not
like
I'm really bad at keeping up with the chat and seeing it, interacting it. So
yeah, I'm a little bit blind, so it's hard for me to see, but I can kind of see it that far.
Yeah,
I can see it better this time than last time.
We should have made it a little bit bigger.
It's fine. You probably can't. It's fine.
All right. So have you guys ever had anything super creepy or bad luck happen on Friday the 13th? Or even during a harvest moon, because apparently a bunch of supernatural stuff can happen on the harvest moon. Do you believe in any superstitions? Which ones have you actually heard of, Rebecca?
What superstitions have I heard of?
Yeah, like Friday the 13th or bad luck.
Breaking glass.
I did that one Friday the 13th.
Yeah, you also clipped your nails, and I have no idea what that's supposed to be.
It's
like I watched your Amino video, and I'm like, yeah, why do you do that? What in the world?
There's actually a lot of hair and nail, like basically.
Yeah, Ethan cutting his hair in the sink and clipping his nails.
That wasn't even our sink, so you're fine.
Yeah, going on an airplane or setting sail on a ship or something. I'm just like, who made these up? What are those? What?
They're all real. I mean, they're all real superstitions. Like, there's a lot of like hair or like hair superstitions involving yourself.
How many followers are having Amino? Good day.
I'm glad you're impressed, Rebecca. If you don't follow us on Amino, we have 14,500.
49.
Yeah, people. So that's pretty cool. I'm trying to get this link. We just posted a new Amino video. It's on Friday the 13 superstitions or 13 things you shouldn't do on Friday the 13th. So.
Yeah, but I didn't really think about today being Friday the 13th until we had a guy come in to work on one of our analyzers. And he's like, what are you doing for Friday the 13th? And I was like, I'm doing a paranormal live stream today. He was just like, huh? But I'm really glad I didn't have to work at the hospital because full moons, Friday the 13th, anything like that, it's a bad time. Everyone's going crazy. Blood bank is crazy. It's not a fun time when you're at a hospital working on something like a full moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have the working on a full moon thing further down in the script or the outline. But I was reading an article today about things that happen on full moons for this, preparing for this. And one of them had a source, and I clicked it, and it was the Reddit, and it was a Reddit comment that only had 3 upvotes from 5 years ago from a nurse in the nursing subreddit that said, one full moon, I had 3 patients fall on their face out of bed. And that was their source that things get crazy during full moons. I was like, this is a little suspicious. I don't know how credible this article is. So
yeah, I mean, it's just like I don't really believe in Friday the 13th full moon kind of things, but there's definitely more people coming in for altered mental status, vehicle accidents, stabbings and stuff like that. Like there's more things that happen all at once, it seems like, on full moons and stuff than just on a normal day.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I'm not working.
I mean, I'm glad you're not too, because that way we could do this. Ghostwatch said he had a friend that says Friday the 13th is his luckiest day of the year. I almost said that with all this stuff going on, like the harvest moon, Friday the 13th, all this stuff, does it cancel each other out and just turn into the luckiest day of the year? Should we all be going to buy lottery tickets right now instead of hanging out together?
My dad was supposedly born on a Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the year is, so I can't look that up, but potentially.
Yeah, let's see what else. Sometimes the chat gets smaller. Swedish Mom said, "Where is Blake?"
That's a great question.
I have no idea. So
yeah, there's a problem with the new streaming thing where it's really hard for 2 people to stream at different places because they got rid of Google Hangouts, which would be what the guys used to use, and so it would switch back and forth from Blake's house to here when they talked, and they got rid of that, and now it doesn't work. So you really have to be at the same place.
Yeah, so now we're just streaming in person. So
yeah.
Let me see if I can get into the first story so we can at least start talking about some.
Yeah, you skipped
stuff.
part.
What?
Go up. That part.
What part?
Right there.
Well, you can read it if I don't see it.
Last night we were filming.
Yeah. All right. So last night we were filming a video right here. We were
right here.
Week.
We were sitting right here.
And we had the same setup.
Spot.
Yeah. It still took us forever to get everything set up, even though we kind of left most of it up. But Rebecca all of a sudden heard something. What happened?
You heard it too. We're sitting here. We're talking. We're reacting to creepy pictures. So we're already looking at creepy stuff. And I hear a knocking type of noise, like someone running their fingers on something. That sounded like it was directly behind us. And then metal crashing. And there's nothing metal up here. And Ethan said it sounded like it was outside. But I heard it coming from down the hall into our house. And it was very frightening. And Ethan's just like, oh, it's one of your Halloween things outside. It just fell. And I'm like, that did not come from outside. And I could see all of my things through this window. And they're still there. What was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was traumatic.
I mean, luckily we found it. It was a picture that fell in the basement, but It was a windy night, and the Halloween decorations are right behind me, so that's why I thought it was something simple like that.
There's only one that's beside of you.
Okay. Well, tonight is the first full harvest moon in 19 years, so it's actually the second one.
What is a harvest moon? Can we get into that?
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
know what that means.
Okay, the harvest moon is the closest full moon to the autumn equinox. So the autumn part where the day and night are equal. Night and day are equal. So it's the full moon closest to that. So it can be anywhere.
Does it turn red?
It's supposed to be oranger because of the way the sun and everything reflects off of it. So it was supposed to be oranger, and it was a way because farmers, since it was during harvest time, to give them more light to do farming stuff, and usually they'd have celebrations and everything. So there's supposed to be a lot of spookiness surrounding it. The next one isn't until 2049, so we got to really live it up. The next one we're Friday the 13th.
Look at it.
Yeah, when it's full and everything. So
spooky times.
Yeah. So historians suggest that like superstitions are born out of experience and an attempt to explain our environment and our world around us. This is really true for like our ancestors who didn't have anything else to do but party out in a field after harvesting when the moon was out and getting out there. But it also, besides partying, causes them to freak out about some things, especially in some cultures, whether it's in a positive or a negative way. They start to think that like cats and stuff are gonna come after them. But for instance, like throwing salt over your shoulder back in Roman times was a precious commodity. There we go. I don't speak very well, you guys.
He can't read and he can't talk.
So even to spill a little bit of it was considered bad luck because it cost so much. Because I mean, I'm pretty sure they even had like salt mines or salt wars, something like that happened.
People died over salt.
Yeah.
And now we just have it all over the place.
Yeah, in this video, amino video, I just dumped salt everywhere just for the video. So
wasteful. And salt's very cheap. Like a giant thing of salt's like $1.
Yeah, so back in the day when you'd actually like throw it over your shoulder, it's supposed to be like kind of like a sacrifice or a way to appease like negative spirits. And let's see what else is there. So many superstitions are still like ingrained in us. There we go. There's the harvest moon talking more about it, where it turns more of an orange. This one tonight is actually a micro moon. It appears to be further. Yeah, it appears to be further away. So
strange.
Yeah, but supposedly there's a lot of energy that's connected to the harvest moon. That
you're supposed to draw ghosts come back and
some
kill people and stuff. There was a whole American Horror Story on that.
That's Halloween though when they get to come back.
It was October 13th.
Was it? I thought it was Halloween.
I'm pretty sure.
No,
somebody
Halloween.
Looked that up. It was not Halloween. I think it was like October 13th. I don't know. Something about a harvest moon. It was not Halloween. And the butcher could come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone who is more into keeping up with American Horror Story, let us know. Tell Ethan he's wrong and it wasn't on Halloween.
It's definitely Halloween, but
no, it's not. Fight me.
All right.
It was also like red. This is orange.
Are you guys excited for autumn and fall? Do you guys have any cool fall festivals you plan to go to in your area? Where should someone go? Like, we've been to the Mothman Festival. I've always wanted to go to the Kelly Hopkinsville Festival, Little Green Men Festival. There's some Bigfoot ones. One time, like literally when we went to the Mothman one, there was also a Bigfoot festival in Richmond, Virginia. And that would have been cool to go to, but I haven't heard anything else about something like that. So let us know where we should check out. Let me catch up more on the chat. So, man, I'm pretty far behind you guys. But Chris said, hey, what's up, Chris? You had a birthday yesterday. Yes. So, yeah, Rosie said you might be sensitive. But, yeah, it was a picture that fell. So it wasn't too...
I'm not sensitive.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm deaf, and I could hear where it fell. So Ethan's got problems. But we hear noises all the time. We were also recording a video and one of our doors slammed.
Yeah.
That's fine, I'm sure. This house is haunted. And we've been here like 3-4 years and it's like just now haunted. So I don't know what happened.
Well, there's been stuff that happens. Rebecca just now starting to be like,
what is that?
Yeah. Basically being like, I can't explain stuff right anymore.
Yeah, I mean like the doors thing, like I'm fine with that. But when I hear people just talking that aren't here or stuff like that, that's kind of scary. No one's looking up this American Horror Story thing. I'm disappointed.
Yeah. The real furry said we're not going to see another harvest moon. It's another full harvest moon on Friday the 13th. We'll have another harvest moon next year, like the next one closest. So, we'll see Haley's Comet in 2061. I just hope I'm alive for that stuff.
Yeah, I won't be.
I hope I'm alive and can go out and see this stuff, not just like in a nursing home.
Yeah, I probably won't be alive for either of those things.
That's depressing. But how's it going, Pan? We're here talking about some superstitions. But talking about harvest moons, did you guys know that one thing is supposedly shadow people believe that are connected to moon cycles, and there's allegedly a large increase in the number of shadow people encounters during the harvest moon.
That gave me goosebumps. I think I want to see shadow people in our house. I don't like that. Why are you just telling me this right now?
What did I tell you yesterday that you like? Oh, she was looking at a ghost photo and she didn't.
Yeah.
Rebecca didn't know that human eyes can't reflect in a picture. That
Yeah, it was like
an
not something I
animal.
thought about. And I had just taken a picture of Sass in the dark, and her eyes were glowing all crazy like this and way different directions glowing. And so he shows me a picture, and I'm like, yeah, it's fine. She's like the dog, it's fine. And he's like, Rebecca, human eyes don't do that. And then I got creeped out.
Yeah,
And
she's
then
like,
we
I'm all
heard scary
tingly.
noises.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now you got me worried. I'm gonna be seeing shadow people. Like, you always leave me alone when I'm trying to get ready for bed. I'm like washing my face, bend down and stuff, and look up, and there's a mirror, and I just know I'm gonna see shadow people outside. Ugh, I hate it. Freaking out.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
But I have a few shadow people subscriber stories that have been sent to us. So I have a video planned for this, and this is one of the stories that's going to be in it. It's one of the shorter ones. It's still too long to be an Amino video.
Well, hang on before you read.
Yeah.
Because Ethan's seen shadow people at the office.
Did I now?
You said you did.
Yeah,
he was either lying, but
no.
You said you've seen shadow people.
Yeah, I've seen shadow people in my office. There's some creepy stuff has happened there. And someone, like, my office used to be a house before, like, that part became commercialized. And someone was like, someone who used to live there knew that's where our office was. I met him during when we were out drinking one night. He told us that the house was like, and we didn't really meet him. It's Ken from Long River. So he was like, yeah.
He's crazy.
He's like, yeah, I used to have all these shadow people encounters. I'm like, well, I've actually had one thing that happened, and then another, and the phones will do weird stuff. So
that's accurate.
Yeah.
Anyway, proceed with this story. Or read the comments, whichever one you was going to do.
I was just going to say, Pan, yeah, your name's pretty cool. I'm glad, Caitlin, you came because of today. Hope you're having a safe but fun Friday the 13th.
I would love everyone to know that doing a live stream on this is my idea. Yeah. You're welcome. Bunch of dog hair.
Yeah.
You're welcome. It was my idea.
Okay. But, all right, subscriber story. When I was 7 or 8, my family moved into this small house in the middle of nowhere. I hated it because there were no neighborhood kids to play with. The house wasn't that creepy, but I started to notice strange things that seemed to keep happening. I would leave something in one of the rooms, and I would find it somewhere else in the house.
It happens.
Yeah. I thought I was imagining things at first, but my parents noticed it too. Sometimes we would get home and find like shelves knocked over, and the curtains would be pulled down, and the furniture would be moved around. Like, it wouldn't be the most drastic thing, but it wasn't the way we left it. My parents started to think someone was breaking into our house, but nothing valuable was ever missing. Only random things that would disappear, but they would immediately reappear in a different room. We couldn't explain it. Eventually, my parents bought a new house, and we rented out the old house over the years. Ultimately, the house turned into a place where family members would live when they needed a place to stay until they got back on their feet. One night, my uncle called my parents in the middle of the night, screaming that there's something not right in that house. He had left in the middle of the night and was staying in a hotel. He was so freaked out by it all that he wouldn't even go back to get his stuff. So I had to drive up there and move his things out for him the next day. When I got there, the curtains were pulled down and the shelves had been knocked over. It was just like how it was when I was a kid. Same thing had happened. So I wasn't that freaked out. But when I went into the main bedroom to collect his things, all of a sudden I heard something in the house behind me. I still wasn't frightened because I was used to it. But when I turned around, I saw something I still can't explain. It was a dark outline of a person that seemed to be staring at me. As I looked at them, the dark shadows slowly faded away until there was nothing there. I was just alone in the old home again. I stood there frozen. My heart was racing. I was trying to figure out what I had just seen. When I snapped out of it, I had a huge adrenaline rush. I grabbed up all my uncle's things and loaded them in my car as fast as I could. I remember shutting and locking the front door, and when I started to back out of the driveway, I looked at the house one last time. I saw the front door was open. I could see the strange shadow thing was standing in the doorway, watching me leave. I called my dad and told him that I got my uncle's things, but he needed to go back and check on the house. I told him that I thought something was wrong with the locks on the front door, and I haven't been back since. But my dad still tries to rent it to people. He won't sell it for some reason, and it only stays rented about half the time. He put a big storage shed in the back, so we can basically just keep our things back there without even having to go inside now. So I think it still freaks him out. I'm pretty sure I saw what caused my uncle to leave and abandon the house in the middle of the night that day, because he went and stayed in an expensive hotel when he was down on his luck and didn't have anything going for him. And if he saw that, I don't blame him. But I still haven't spoken to him about it. I don't plan on ever going back inside that creepy little house in the middle of nowhere. Have you guys ever had an encounter with a shadow person? What about you, Rebecca?
I don't think so. Never seen anything. I don't really believe in ghosts and stuff, though. But that story where he's like, I saw a door open and a shadow in it. I called my dad and told him to go over there. Like, that could have been a real person. Like, you could have narrowly missed being murdered and you're just trying to send your dad in there alone. It's kind of rude.
I mean, that's what dads are for.
Yes. Yeah, but it's still like, Dad, there might be a murder in the house. Can you go check that out? Great. I'm leaving. Go look at that, please.
Yeah, I'm sorry to sneeze, you guys.
Yeah, probably just bust out everyone's eardrums.
I'm sorry, you guys.
It's okay. I hit my wine bottle on the glass. That was also probably real loud.
Yeah. The link said, can you show us the harvest moon, please? Their house, it's covering it up. Ours, it was really cloudy before we started.
I haven't been outside since it was nighttime. Yeah. So I don't know what it looks like. We'll post a picture on Instagram if we can see it.
Yeah, Instagram. We also posted a picture of the dog being the ferryman yesterday on Instagram.
That was my idea also.
And she was Georgie the last week.
Yeah, that's why she's so sad right now.
Yeah. But Phantom of Darkness said, scary story. One time when he was living with his parents as a child, we had a couple of brothers. I opened the closet one day and I saw my brother in the closet. He was playing hide and seek. The end. Man. I never had brothers, so I'm an only child. I'd be freaked out if I saw a brother in the closet.
Real horror here, having your brother.
Like, I don't even know you. How did you get inside?
Yeah.
You want to read this part?
Can you make that bigger?
Sure. Hold on. It's about black cats, guys. Have you ever had a black cat, Rebecca?
Yes.
Do you like black cats?
They're a cat.
Yeah, no,
I like those as much as I like any cat.
Yeah.
A black cat might be an omen of good or evil depending on where you live. Western and European folklore associate black cats with bad luck, devils, and witches, much of the belief coming from the medieval Christian church. However, in the United Kingdom and Asian cultures, the black cat represents prosperity, protection, fruitful harvest, and good fortune. In the 18th century, pirates and sailors would have a black ship's cat for good luck at sea. But where did these notions come from? Superstitions are based in the belief of a supernatural influence leading to certain consequences for an action or event. Quite often, those consequences tend to be negative or based in irrational fear. For instance, the well-known childhood refrain of "step on a crack, break your mother's back." There are several potential origins for this superstition and variations on the theme, some of which have racial bias as their connection. However, the most recognizable version is based on a past belief that cracks in the ground or pavement led directly to the underworld. According to legend, stepping on a crack released demons into the world, bringing bad luck to the offender.
Yeah. Imagine, I never really thought where that came from, but imagine me like, oh, I stepped on a crack. Now unleash something from the underworld, a demon. Oh, God. A devil.
That wasn't really about black cats.
It was a segue. I write these things really fast and combine from like articles and stuff I'm reading online, and sometimes I try to make it flow as best as I can.
It's fine.
So
I was just saying, like, this is about cats, and now this is about breaking mothers' backs. Okay, this is fine.
Well, I think I was trying to find the origin of both, and then I just kind of forgot that.
It probably has to do with like witch things, because witches wear black and witches do things, and everyone loves cats, so witches have cats. I don't know. That would be my thought as to where that came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Phantom said, since we were on the subject of cats, I work at a veterinary clinic, and I could have sworn I saw a dead cat walking down the hallway and disappear into the closet.
How do you know it was dead?
Yeah.
How do you know the cat was dead?
I never knew that about you. If you guys don't know Phantom of Darkness, go click on his channel and subscribe. He's awesome. Way better than
He likes
What?
way better than Ethan.
Okay. Rebecca's cocky. Yeah. And hold on.
There's a cat that used to house in our kennel.
Here.
I can't see that far.
All right. He said it was a cat that we used to house in our kennel here. And he just walked into the closet and disappeared. I sound kind of crazy, but I swear that's what happened. His name is Sammy. Did you ever see him again?
That could have been a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah, it could have been. That's a good glitch in the Matrix. One time my grandparents had a crazy story about a cat. They had this yellow, big, kind of fat cat. His name is Shakespeare. They got him right.
They still have him. He's alive.
Yeah, they got him right when I moved off to college. It was like my replacement.
Yeah, Ethan's allergic to cats, so it was a very nice thing to do.
Yeah, it was really like, oh, you're out.
We can have a cat now.
Basically. So, but one day my grandpa was driving to work early in the morning and going down the big hill, leaving their neighborhood. He found a yellow cat that had been hit by a car. And he freaked out thinking it was Shakespeare because they both loved the cat so much. And he scooped it up and he put it in the back of his truck. And
drove to work.
Yeah.
He just kept going with the cat in the truck.
My grandpa was a super workaholic. So he wasn't going to.
And he was like, I do not want to deal with having to tell my wife this right now. I need to work and then worry about it.
Yeah. So he calls my grandma, lets her know. She freaks out. But that's it. That's the end of it. Like an hour later, my grandmother calls to the office and is like, the cat's in the window. Shakespeare's alive. That wasn't Shakespeare. And my grandpa, she was so distraught that she was hallucinating seeing the cat and was like, now, Margaret, the cat's dead. He's still in the back of my truck.
Yeah, and that's very likely to happen. If anyone was going to do that, it would be your grandmother. I'm just saying. Like, if you told me that she did that for real, I would not be surprised.
If she was distraught, she can get really emotional. So, but luckily, it was our cat. The cat was fine. My family had this happy reunion with our cat. But that also means my grandpa just scooped up someone else's dead cat, and they never had closure on what happened to it, which is kind of depressing. So.
Did you hear the dog growl?
Yeah, it's fine. I thought that was the ice maker.
I didn't hear a noise. I just heard her growl, and she's staring at the window.
She probably saw light reflecting off of it. It's fine, guys. If we die on stream, you guys better like this a little bit more. Share it. Better end up in a Sir Spooks compilation at the very least. No, Sir Spooks is awesome. All right. So let me catch up on this. Hi, Dan Sullivan. Hi, Panda. Ghost Watch. Ghost Cats and Dogs made me really sad, definitely. Rosie's Wishy Finger said, I once saw a shadow person while I was in REM sleep paralysis.
Yeah. I mean, that makes more sense because your brain just makes up stuff for you to see if you get your eyes open.
Yeah. But Phantom of Darkness said, how do I know that it was dead? Because all the cats we have at work at the time weren't out, and they were in their cages. We let them out to walk around the clinic sometimes. But that day was really light, and we had no appointments. And from the distance at the end of the hallway, I saw the cat walk into the closet, disappear, and yeah, I didn't see him after that, just gone. So do you think the place is haunted? Do you have any other strange experiences there?
See, that would be interesting because most people say morgues and stuff were haunted and hospitals and stuff where people die. I mean, animals die in vets. It would make sense if you believe in that kind of thing that vets would be haunted because animals do die there.
That residual energy.
Yeah. Depressing.
Yeah. So talking about Ghostwatch earlier mentioned his friend thinks Friday the 13th is his luckiest day. Taylor Swift thinks of 13 as her lucky number, and has some connections with, and has good connections with Friday the 13th. She said she was born on the 13th and she turned 13 on Friday the 13th. Her first album went gold in 13 weeks. Her first number one song had a 13-second intro. But my high school chemistry teacher was the same way about the number 13. He loved it for like similar reasons. I'm pretty sure he was either born on the 13th or married on the 13th. And I think one of his kids was born on the 13th. He just had this obsession and connection with it. He had even divided out this perfect calendar into 13 months long, where apparently if you do that, divide the weeks by 13, you get a perfect calendar. So 52 and the 13. I don't know. Is that 4?
I don't know.
So then, yeah, you'd have 4 perfect weeks instead of these odd weeks. So
I also heard that Taylor Swift's albums have 13 songs. I don't know if that's real or not. But I had heard that 13 thing about T Swift before, and I feel like part of it was her albums have 13 songs. But I don't know if that's real life. Words. More on the chat. Hello, the love of angels. And Bricky Popcorn 80. Where's the moon? It's in the sky.
The clouds. It's definitely there, at least. I mean, if it's not there, we have problems, guys.
Yeah.
So
we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think that'd really affect us on Earth if the moon disappeared. I'm pretty sure there's a documentary of what if the moon disappeared. What would happen next? We don't need tides. But Phantom of Darkness said he put animals to sleep all the time, and he thinks they possibly could be haunted. Definitely. So someone said, are you guys rating Area 51?
No, I have to work. Isn't that some adult garbage?
Yeah.
Because I think so. But no, we can't fly all the way to Nevada because I have to work that day.
I hate flying too, so I wouldn't really want to fly there.
We tried to convince Blake to go, but he didn't want to.
On Amino, I did an Amino video on Janet Airlines, which is Area 51's airline that ferries people from the Las Vegas airport to Area 51 who work there. So you can do some secret government spooky shit. So
scary times.
So Phantom says he's a pretty skeptical person. How are you pretty skeptical with your channel and seeing ghost cats? Skeptical. I'm skeptical too. I mean, I really thought Rebecca was crazy and that some decoration had just fallen behind us and that nothing was going on in our house.
I have a hearing loss, so I can't hear very well anyway. And I'm like, he was like, it was outside. That's fine. And I'm like, that was 100% that way. I'm deaf, and I heard it. It was from in our house that way. It was not outside. And Ethan just kept fighting with me. Yeah. But who was right?
You're right.
As always.
But talking about flying, many people are reluctant to fly on Friday the 13th, but the Aviation Safety Network has debunked this numerous times, researching the rate of fatal plane crashes on the date of Friday the 13th, and they're actually lower than the average days or the month normal. So, but still, there's a number of mysterious and tragic plane crashes that have occurred on this infamous date that have some pretty big, like, horrific, morbid reality stuff going on. Like on Friday the 13th, 1972, 2 major plane crashes occurred on the same day. One was a large plane that was carrying the Ugandan, Uruguayan, whatever. Rebecca's spilling stuff over here, so she distracted me.
Well, the dog just headbutted me in the titty while I was trying to drink, so it made me spill stuff. Yeah, but they were carrying the rugby team. The other was a large plane flying over Paris to Moscow. Oh, it's supposed to be Uruguay. Uruguay. I don't know how you like Uruguayan. Yeah, I guess. That's probably. I was trying to figure out what you had typed. Like, what is that word? Uruguayan. Yeah. That's probably not how you say that, but Uruguay. Well, the death toll of both these crashes was more than 200. While the Moscow-bound plane resulted in the death of everyone on board, 28 people survived the initial plane crash in the Andes of the Uruguayan plane crash. But they truly had to survive. The plane went down on October 13th, but the sole 16 survivors who were rescued 72 days after the crash. That's a long time. They did. They had to endure harsh climates of mountains. The men did everything they could to survive, including turning to cannibalism and eating the bodies of their dead teammates. Their tragic and harrowing story was eventually retold in a book
that was turned into the film Alive. Would you guys fly on Friday the 13th? Or would you eat a person, your teammate, your friend, if you had to survive? Have you guys seen or heard the movie Alive? It's pretty creepy.
I've heard of that thing, like what you just read. I'd heard of that, but I didn't know it was like a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
you guys, animal scary stories are scarier. Yeah, we could do some animal stories one day. I don't have any prepared today, so that could be a stream next week if I remember. So if you guys comment all of our videos, so that's what the live stream should be. If you want it to be animal scary stories next week, you even have a sassy one. So, Phantom of Darkness says, I know. That's really the only thing I've ever saw, though. There's a moment years ago, late at night, I was in a parking lot of my apartment complex with my friends sitting in the car, and it just stops. And then he saw a silhouette of a man. He was standing up outside his car. I remember both of us looked away for a second, and he pretty much just disappeared. The car was gone. So it probably wasn't really anything but a real person driving away. But it was strange because he was dressed in old Victorian era clothes and looked like 40s. I don't know. What kind of car was it? Was it an older car?
It's fine.
Yeah.
We literally just had a similar discussion about a picture in one of yesterday's videos that I guess is the one going on YouTube.
We did.
It's fine.
So next week we have us reacting to scary videos. Hopefully it'll come out on Wednesday. Realistically, probably Saturday or Sunday when I get it all edited. But that's what I'm hoping for. We also have a darker version of that going on Patreon because we started out on reacting to stuff that was just a little too real and too murdery and dead bodies. So that's going on Patreon. That is like a shorter one because it's just like we need to find something that's really like more paranormal and not like check out this murder scene. So. Yeah. But Time to Hang says your Pomeranian is adorable.
She knows.
Yeah.
She's very cute.
And then Andres Ramirez said, Pet Sematary just scared me. Pet Sematary to me really freaked me out. Not
the book.
Yeah, the book, not the movie. The book, like it's the way it portrays death and talking about it and how it relates to everyone. It can, when you really start to think about it, it's creepier than like a jump scare movie.
Yeah, when Ethan told me what the book's about, it sounds like way better of a time than the movie.
Yeah. Hold on. Nate and Carrie said, Illuminati confirmed. Triangle with the eye shadow. Yeah, we got the Conspiracy Club shirt. Rebecca had one on too. We were trying to match, but then she decided to go with a Star Wars shirt.
I did. I was wearing it and I was like, I don't like this. Because when I saw what Ethan was wearing, I was like, I have that shirt too. I want to put it on. We can match. And then I put it on and I was like, I'm not feeling this. And right before Ethan went to start the stream, I was like, let me go change real quick. And it's fine. I'm more comfortable.
All right. Do you want to read this next one?
I can. Former North Wales bus conductor Bob Renfrey claimed multiple issues happening on Friday the 13th over the years, including 4 car crashes, losing his job, falling into a river, and crashing his motorcycle. His wife even tried to schedule his funeral for a Friday the 13th, but all of the local undertakers were too busy that day. She believes he would have found the humor in it. I'm glad he would have found the humor in it because there is no escaping fate. New York resident Daz Baxter was so afraid of bad luck following him around on Friday the 13th in August 1976 that he opted to stay home. Unfortunately, his plan tragically backfired when the floor beneath his bed caved in and he plummeted down 6 floors to his death. So you can't just stay inside during Friday the 13th. Sometimes it will come to you. You just have to make your own luck.
Yeah. Imagine just like being in your bed and you just falling through the floor, just minding your own business, and that's how you fucking die. That would suck. That'd just be like, I imagine like accidentally, like when you're park on the side of the street to get out of your car and you just get like hit by a bus or something. I just imagine like you just don't even see it coming. You're just like, up. Do I get another life? Like that was kind of a cheap shot. That would suck. But here's one that we were talking about, Rebecca talking about stuff increasing, like Some studies say that the risk of hospital admission as a result of a transportation accident may be increased as much as 52%. So staying at home is actually recommended on Friday the 13th. Whether or not full moons or Friday the 13th lead to an increase in chaos is worth considering and thinking about what can actually happen from different mishaps. Like there's tons of studies. One will say like it does increase. Others will say it's just like people imagine things. You pay more attention to the bad stuff that happens.
Correlation.
Yeah.
And correlation does not equal causation.
Exactly. And when people are usually anxious or afraid of something, they're more likely to make mistakes or at least point out and pay more attention to their surroundings and think that some outside force is causing it. Do you guys think full moons or Friday the 13th lead to an increase in crime or hospital visits, or is it all in our heads? Let me catch up on the chat because I'm bad at doing both. So, yeah. So Phantom said it was not an old car, so he might not have seen a ghost time traveler.
It was just Photoshop. It's fine.
Yeah, it could have. You could have your mind could have photoshopped it. So someone told me that on Friday the 13th brings you bad luck. You never know. You never know. You got to make your own luck, just like it said. And how's it going, Amy Only? Hope you're having a good Friday the 13th. So let's go to the next story. Do you want to read this one? This one's a long one.
Yeah, you got to make it bigger then.
Okay, hold on. This one is kind of creepy.
Okay. I also don't like how you sometimes use Oxford commas and then other times you don't. I need you to get on that Oxford comma life.
A lot of times.
Because if you don't, you're wrong.
Rebecca, you're lucky someone says punctuation at all. Like, sometimes this stuff is so sloppy when I'm like trying to piece it together so fast that words are missing and all of that. So,
okay. Here's a creepy story I found on an old website that allegedly happened on Friday the 13th. When I was 16, I would jump on my trampoline out back for hours. One night when I was jumping, a kid ran past our fence full speed, carrying a box about the size and shape of a skateboard. He ran to the park behind my house and held it by the edge, then tossed it into the air so that it flipped a few times before landing on the ground. He just stood over it, staring for a pretty long time. Then he just bolts full speed back past our fence like he didn't even notice I was there. The box looked like it was moving. Then something started to rise out of it. I actually stopped jumping and rubbed my eyes and watched as what looked like a full-grown man rose up out of a box that was like 2 inches thick. He had an elongated head with no hair. His skin was orange and his eyes were huge and pitch black. He raised one arm up to his side and the box just kind of went into what I can only describe as a trench coat. He walked over to the only pavilion we have at the small park, grabbed the metal beam holding up the overhang, and started to bang his head hard onto the beam over and over. Then without warning, he just stopped, and his head quickly whipped around and stared right at me. It was like he could feel me watching him. A giant smile came across his face as those dark eyes just stared at me. He tilted his head back and forth a few times. As I was about to start crying, and I don't know why I wanted to cry, but his face just filled me with terror, he turned around and kind of phased down the road off into the distance. He was gone.
Have you had any creepy encounters with strange kids during your childhood?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that story reminds me of the book John Dies at the End. Because they would have stuff like that happen with the black stuff or whatever. It caused them to trip out and see different things. So.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like kids now are creepier to me as an adult than they were when I was a kid.
Yeah, I saw a post on Facebook today. Like I'm now the person who hates teenagers in public places. But kids can be creepy. Like I love reading creepy stories of what kids say and everything. The dog is migrating to me.
Bye.
So hey, Sass. Hey. So Amy only says she loves your decorations, Rebecca. This is all Rebecca's Halloween stuff, which is now turned into the official live streaming set because it looks pretty cool.
When I built this tree, Ethan hated it. He was like, I don't like it. It's too big. I don't like your tree. And then, we came back home after a couple, we went out and came back after a couple hours, and it's like, I like this tree. Can I have it when it's not Halloween? I want to use it as a backdrop. It's like, screw you. You told me you didn't like my tree, and now you want to take it. I had to build it, and you just want to steal it.
It's pretty cool, Rebecca.
I know. That's why I bought it.
All right. So the murder of Susan Kitty Giovis has gone down as one of the most shocking crimes in history, not only because it involved the rape and murder of a young girl, but because there were a lot of witnesses to it. The New York Times reported a total of 38 people may have seen it happen.
That's a lot.
It is. The crime occurred on March 13th, 1964, which happened to be on a Friday in Brooklyn. Kitty was 28 and was attacked by Winston Mosley, a 29-year-old, in the middle of the road that was surrounded by apartment buildings with windows overlooking the whole area. No one called the police or intervened. Interviews after the fact, neighbors gave a myriad of excuses as to why they didn't call the police or try to stop the attacker. These included, I was tired, I didn't want to get involved, we thought it was a lover's quarrel, we thought someone else would do something about it. And the police said that based on the timeline of the attack, she managed to escape from him twice, but he eventually returned to stab her twice. There was a chance that she could have been saved by onlookers. Winston Mosley recently died in prison at the age of 81, creating some sort of closure to the case that would have later become the center of many psychological psychology classes regarding the perplexing idea of the bystander effect. Would you have done something? Have you ever experienced a bystander effect in person?
I can tell you that anytime I've taken a CPR class or first aid class, they tell this story. And because like your first thing is when someone goes down and you have to do something to them, right before you start, you point at somebody and you tell them, you call 911. And then you start doing whatever. But every single class I've taken, which has been like 4 or 5 at this point, every single one of them tells that story. And I have seen it happen in real life. Not like someone going down and needing CPR or something, but seeing people get cut and stuff, like be bleeding, be hurt. And I was just like, oh my God, are you okay? Oh my God. And just staring and looking at them like, can someone call somebody? Hello? Why would you just look at that?
I mean, I think it happens. You like your whole fight or flight reflex. So sometimes you're like, I don't want to get involved. This is
mine
crazy.
Is definitely flight. Something happens, I'm like, peace. But if something were to happen, like someone were to fall down and need CPR, like be cut and bleeding or something, I would definitely just call 911, not just stare, because I know it's a thing and I know everyone else is probably just staring. I would call.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've heard that story a whole lot of times. And it's crazy that happened. Like, if that was me and I was watching this happen, I would have called the police.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter if someone else called. If there's 30 people watching and someone's already called, it's not going to do any harm for you to call also.
Just
that might make
calling.
it go faster.
When in doubt,
call 911.
Yeah, call the police.
Yeah.
So time to hang. So it looks like we got a full moon. Yeah, tonight's a full moon.
It's a harvest moon.
That's
harvest
amazing.
Full moon. Word thanks.
So yeah, the love of angels. Have you guys seen the Ring? Have you seen the Ring, Rebecca?
Yeah, I watched it in theaters. I watched the second one in theaters.
And we watched.
I have a whole shirt that's a cross up between Courage the Cowardly Dog and The Ring. It's great. I'm watching that in a live stream somewhere, and I'm pretty sure it's the one we're talking about, Area 51.
Yeah.
So just go check that out. You can see my cool shirt.
Did you, Sassy? That's not for you. So did you see did we watch the most recent Ring at Blake's house? Is that what we watched? That was boring?
Perhaps. Whatever movie that was, I fell asleep and I couldn't tell you what it was. But it could, if they did a third one, it could have definitely been that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So someone said, Jewel draws, is it bad luck to go outside for the full moon? I actually don't know if that's the thing. I read a lot of stuff about superstitions, but
yeah, most people just say like people go crazy for a full moon and that people will wreck on full moons and act crazier on full moons and like it's more likely to get stabbed and shot and stuff for full moons. And I don't know if that's real life, but people think that people go crazy because it's a full moon.
You put the Luna in lunatic.
Okay, Blake's not here. We don't need dad jokes.
That's where lunatic comes from.
We don't need dad jokes.
That's a real thing.
Dad jokes.
All right. Well.
Anything else to talk about?
Yeah, that's the end of that's the end of everything. Kenneth is literally Chris. Chris is saying goodnight, guys. This is the end of the outline. So, any last questions, comments, concerns? Because we just ran out of material. We went through that a lot faster.
Yeah, I didn't give Ethan a whole lot of time. Like when I thought of the idea to have this as our live stream, he didn't have that long to work on it. So, did you have anything crazy happen today?
When I was trying to put up the Amino video that I did on Friday the 13th, I had really big problems with Amino, with Premiere, like Adobe Premiere. Like my timeline kept trying to move around, and at one point I was trying to the whole screen started flicking between windows. Like it got hung up in this weird cycle of things. Like I'd pushed a bunch of buttons, but I hadn't. And I tried to screen record it, but I couldn't bring up the screen record option because I was just like, what is going on? So I went for my phone, but then it had calmed down. So
that also just sounds like something that would happen anyway because you have a lot of problems with Premiere.
Yeah, Premiere crashes all the time. So it was just annoying trying to edit it.
Yeah.
So.
Did you talk about what happened after your Friday the 13th video you filmed?
What happened?
This is your story to talk about. I just prompted you.
I had stuff mess up with my hold on. I had my hard drive mess up, my portable hard drive. I think something else happened. I haven't listened to the end of that video.
Broke.
Yeah, Blake's laptop messed up after that, so it was a pretty crazy time.
Yeah, after Ethan spent all breaking all these superstition things, everyone's stuff messes up except mine. But Blake's computer messed up. Ethan had computer problems. I think you had a camera problem, you had dropped something. Something had happened to your car, I think. I don't know. Bad stuff happened to Ethan. You had a bad time at work. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was Ethan's fault.
Yeah, but today wasn't bad for my Friday the 13th. I hope you guys had a good Friday the 13th. If you did, leave a like on this video. Like the video. Give us some ideas for some content. Got plenty of stuff planned. Just finding the time to get it all edited. So I'm trying to make things more streamlined. I'm trying to me and Rebecca film something on Thursdays that's easier and quicker to do. That I put up, and then stream on Fridays if we're together. Try to make it simpler while still doing the long, complex videos.
I have a whole video already filmed of just Rebecca.
Yeah.
No one will edit it.
I will eventually. So, it took me forever to do that dairy video. I'm sorry, you guys, because I was literally meant to go out the week before it came out, and I was like, I'm missing the It timeline, just like I missed the Annabelle timeline. It's just been hectic with work. So, Sassy keeps seeing lights go by, people driving.
It's cars. I think she's gruffing just because she's a dog.
Yeah.
She just does that. Ethan taught this dog to speak, and she never stopped.
Yeah.
That's why you don't teach them to do that. Because she didn't bark at all before Ethan taught her how to speak.
Yeah. All right. So Tom the Hang said it's glitching. Does that mean the stream's glitching? Because we've had a lot of technical issues with the stream too.
Yeah, sometimes they just end.
Yeah. So if you guys if the stream's still going on, tell us in the chat. It's about to be over, but hold on. Ghostwatch said good night. Thanks for hanging out, man. We appreciate it. Go check out the Ghostwatch. Love his channel.
He's got a new collab coming out.
Yeah. And Phantom's still here. Check out his channel. I'm glad can't believe you guys hung out with us tonight. Thanks for taking the time. We appreciate it. Sassy's getting tired of this. So let me read the wrap up. You have any last words, Rebecca?
Someone asked, would you guys risk going outside? We already have.
Yeah.
We both had to work. We've already been outside today. We're probably about to go out again. It's fine.
Yeah. Matteo said, where can I see it? See what?
I guess it's talking about the harvest moon. It should be outside if it's nighttime there.
Yeah.
In theory. We haven't been out to look at it yet, but someone asked for us to get a picture of it or whatever. So if we can see it when we go outside, there'll be a picture on Instagram. Yeah, someone said there's lightning. We had lightning and stuff
Earlier.
here also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be safe in the storms. Get a thunder buddy. So.
Do you have one?
Yeah, Rebecca's always been my thunder buddy. That was like. I wasn't gonna say that. We saw a movie together.
We did.
Yeah.
And you were with a whole other girl for that.
It happened. But be safe, you guys. So, thanks for watching, strangers. Like I said, hopefully new video Wednesday, maybe next weekend. It just depends. There'll be a Patreon video going along with it. There's also going to be amino videos. There'll probably be at least 2 more amino videos coming out this week. Here, you can see that here. If you like our channel, the best way to support it is create an amino account. Follow our profile first, and then every day watch a video that's on amino. We have 60 amino videos up now, so you can watch one every day for the next 2 months, and there'd still be new content coming out. But that really helps our channel out.
Speaking of amino, do you know what an amino acid is?
An acid?
Yeah, amino acid. Do you know what an amino acid is?
Something to do with DNA? I don't know. I'm just joking.
Amino acids are the building blocks of proteins.
That's what I said. That's in DNA.
Protein
right?
and DNA are not the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, Rebecca, are we going to be streaming next week? Do you work next week?
Friday, we're going. Oh, JK. No, I don't work next Friday, I don't think. I don't have my phone, so I can't look at my calendar, but I'm pretty sure I have it off because it's my weekend to work.
Yeah. So we will be streaming next Friday night. Get excited. So it'll be probably around 8 or 9 o'clock, depending on how long it takes to get everything set up and working. So it's just like we used to with Google Hangouts, we got really lazy and we rushed last second and it'd still be able to work.
Yeah.
But now it's like, now we have to like set everything up and do tests and.
Yeah, and like I was watching Ethan trying to like get it ready because he gets it ready and then posts the link and stuff to Discord and Twitter and post it places, and he would click on it to try to get it started, and then it wouldn't have the thing to go live. He would click on it and it wouldn't be there, and he'd click on it and it would be there, and he'd do stuff and then that would go away, and then he'd click on it and it wouldn't be there, and then he clicked on it and then it was finally there and it let him go live. But this new streaming thing is messed up.
Yeah.
And doesn't work a lot of the time.
Hangouts was a lot simpler. Time to Hang said, are you guys excited for Halloween?
Yes. This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
That's why the decorations are already out.
How long have these decorations been up, Ethan?
August.
July.
Okay.
It's the problem, but I'm very ready for it. I make really awesome treat bags that are full of stuff, all kinds of stickers and tattoos and bubbles, and I have little plushy thingy things and little masks and all kinds of candy. And I have to find some kind of time to make all these treat bags, and it takes me hours just to make a few of them. So I'm excited for Halloween, but I'm not excited to make all these treat bags. I love giving them out, but making them is always such a giant pain in the butt.
Yeah.
But once I get done with those, we will 100% be ready for Halloween. And I get to watch scary movies, because when I make treat bags, I watch every kind of scary movie I can think of, or Halloween movie, Hocus Pocus, and Beetlejuice. Yes.
I have a couple of good ideas for Halloween type videos, so we're going to work on. Hopefully get at least a few of them out. But
yeah, and you guys let us know if you would like to see movie reviews, because I just thought of a movie yesterday that I want Ethan to watch, and I think it would be interesting to do a react for it because it's so old. Like the movie I was talking about, it's called The Bad Seed, and it's a pretty crazy movie that I haven't seen since I was like a child, but it's from the 50s. I was like, we could do a video reacting to it. And then as soon as I said that, I was like, oh my God, we could also do a react video to Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, because that movie is also crazy. And that's got Joan Crawford, and it's crazy.
All right.
Betty Davis, crazy. So let us know if that'd be something you want to see us reacting to movies. That might not be that interesting. I don't know. Ethan's like, please stop talking.
It's content, so it doesn't matter. I'm all about trying to create some content, because having the time to edit everything has been a struggle. So, but
yeah, someone said they've seen Bad Seed, and that's a good movie.
Yeah, so we'll do it.
It is. I've seen it. And it's very old. It had like a 7.5 or something on IMDb, and Baby Jane had like 8.1.
Yeah, so we can watch some old.
Yeah, I watched Baby Jane because they did a TV show on it that had Jessica Lange and what's that lady's name? The lady that's in Rocky Horror Picture Show. I can't think of her name right now, but it had two really good actresses in it. And I was like, yes, fuck me up. I want to watch this right now. But I had to watch the movie. So I watched the movie and I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And Ethan hadn't seen it, so.
All right, the chat said Friday the 13th only in September. No, the next Friday the 13th is in December 13th. And we will be...
That's close to my birthday. We'll be on a cruise.
Yeah, we will be on a ship, so we'll see how that setting sail is, lucky or unlucky.
Blake should live stream, I guess, on that day.
Yeah.
Because we'll be doing things. Making content.
Yeah, we'll see.
Recording content.
But until we release some more stuff, check out Amino, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're active there when we're not on here, and our Discord. And until then, and as always, stay strange. I didn't have it ready to click off, so
and it takes a few seconds too.
Yeah, so
but the show is called The Feud. That's right. It's good.
Stay strange. Let's keep ending it. Oh, we want to end it.
Stay strange.
Super stay strange. Friday the 13th, stay strange.